I only have 3 minutes and I have not drawn, you guys. This is not going to be pretty. And I know some of you guys are not happy with how lightly I draw because it's hard for you to see what's going on. But you know what? You got to start light. If you guys want to be able to make changes and really feel like you have options, you have to let yourself draw very light and very, very loose. Hope you guys are going, okay? I'm not waiting for you. So get started. Ah, horrible. Okay, I've already given up. I'm already like 30 seconds in. I'm always like, oh, this is bad. But you know what? You guys, think about your first drawing. It's like a throwaway drawing. It's the drawing that you do when you just trying to move. Like, I'm not even trying to make anything look good right now. I'm just trying to get some physical movement going because I'm just terribly out of shape. So I'm just trying to put something down. I don't care if it looks like crap. Well, that's not true. I do care, but I'm just, trying to encourage you guys. I mean, I do care and I don't care. It's like, I know I shouldn't care, but I do care. It's like, it doesn't make a lot of sense, actually, when you guys think about it. And I am going to be doing tone today, although right now this is such a mess that I don't even know that I'm going to try. I oftentimes do not do a lot of tone in such a short pose because it's almost like not really worth it. And this is a hard photo because there's so many like beautiful areas of the skin being pulled, and it's hard to figure out exactly what to work on in a pose like this. Ugh, oh my God, mess, really, really bad. And part of me just wants to erase everything and start again, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to find knuckles, because knuckles, if you guys watched my last stream, they're your best friend. Look for those knuckles. That's so, so important. Look for the structure of things. Now, see, I'm already getting way too dark, way too fast. But you know what? I think it's actually better for you guys to overdo things than to underdo things. Because you don't want to be walking on eggshells when you draw. If anything, you want to be making a bigger, more horrible mess that you can clean up later. Like, that's sort of the whole way I think about drawing. It's just make a mess, clean it up later. It'll be fine. Okay, you guys, I can't even like work on this anymore. It's like such a mess. It's so, so bad. Oh my God, it doesn't look, oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm just like a little horrified right now because I literally have not drawn anything in like over a month. Like since the move and everything, I just have not had the opportunity, just too many things going on. All right, guys, that's it. Who else hates their drawing? Let me know if you hate your drawing because I hate mine. Okay. Here we go. Let's go on to the next image, which is this one. So let's start with this. And I'm actually going to move my drawing pad. I think, let's put it up over here. I'm going to draw pretty large because I don't do very well when I'm drawing too small. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do this one here. Very different type of pose. Okay, so let's get the mass of the palm. Get the general direction of the thumb, which is going, I guess, in this direction. Drew this a little bit too big, but that's okay. All right, there's the wrist, and the hands are, oh, that looks like marshmallows. Okay, that's not good. Now see, this is a big like clump of fingers, and so it's very easy to look at that and get really lost. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to establish the thumb and get the knuckle. Like here's the knuckle right here, and there's actually another knuckle here. So I want to sort of establish the first finger here, and then I see the second one here and the third one here. So it's tricky because you don't want to draw them separate because they really are together. On the other hand, that looks like a bunch of grapes, which is not good. It's okay. I can deal. I really can. See, the funny thing is I'm always like telling you guys, I'm like, relax, it's fine. And then I get here and I'm like, no! It's like, I don't know why we're all such drama queens. Like, it's just, I don't know, for some reason it always feels like the end of the world when you're drawing. I don't know. Maybe it's just it keeps things exciting. I have no idea. Okay. Down here I'm going to indicate some of the softness because this is all very like compressed form, and so you really feel that, and then a little bit more indication of this. And I am going to do a little tiny hint of the fingernails. I know it feels a little early to do that, but especially like on the thumb here, the fingernail's actually pretty prominent. So that's not really something I want to leave until the last minute. And I do want to show more of the compression coming this way. And maybe, you know something? The wrist, for sure. I think I want to make that a little bit stronger, a little bit bolder, and maybe just a bit of this shadow. I'm so not going to have the time to finish that, but that shadow is pretty important, and so is this one, in terms of delineating some of those parts of the hand, and maybe a little bit more here as well. All right. That is also a horrible mess. Good. Okay, I'm going to actually switch papers. It's going to take me a minute to do that. I'm just going to flip it over because these are like really not good drawings, you guys. Okay. All right, I'm going to switch it up to the next drawing. So let's reset the timer and let's go and take a look at this one. This one's hard too. Why did I put all of the older figures that have beautiful expressive skin at the beginning? I'm not ready for this, you guys. Okay, here we go. Let's do 2 more drawings and then I'll stop and I'll take a look at the chat. Okay, so let's see. Where are we gonna go here? Actually, let me adjust my light a little bit. Just get a little more light there. Okay, good. All right, so let's get in the plane. Do you guys remember this? If you guys have been doing your homework, you will remember that so much of the hand, being able to build it, is to see planes. And it's hard to see planes because they don't feel that obvious for a lot of people. But if you think about like, that's a plane and that's a plane, those are 2 planes that you guys can really hold on to, okay? And then up here, this is like a very soft portion of the hand. Here's the wrist, and really helpful to draw at the very least like this upper section, so that way you guys can contextualize what's happening. Also knuckles, remember this? Okay, we've got knuckle here, one coming this way, and then everybody remember this bone starts with an M, metacarpals. Okay, let's put in the metacarpals, at least a slight indication. I'm gonna pull this finger out, and I am gonna try to see the knuckle, which shows that connection. This one's a little bit rounder. Here's another knuckle, and then this bends forward. Oh, this is a beautiful hand. I just love some of these models who I worked with to take these photos. They're just incredible people, and I love how these came out. Okay, I'm sort of looking back for a second, and I'm noticing this is definitely too small. I think I let this get too big. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna actually push this up, and I'm gonna put the wrist higher up like this because I think I underestimated this. This is hard because the hand I'm drawing, like, it's so much bigger than life size. I actually think if you draw your hand's life size, it's a little bit easier to gauge. Like, once the hand gets bigger than life size, it is harder to do. The thing is, like, I'm such a fan of tone that I feel like if I draw the hand too small, I'm gonna have a lot of difficulty doing that. So that's one of the reasons why I do that, but it's up to you guys. I mean, whatever size works for you best. See, I feel like I'm going over the same lines over and over again. Like, I'm not seeing as clearly as I would like to. God, who here feels like they're out of shape? Like, I'm really out of shape. This is like you went to volleyball practice and you haven't practiced all winter. You know, it's like not pretty. You know, it's like you go to practice and you're just like in pain. Like, I have like the art equivalent of that where I just am like, oh my God, I am not feeling sharp right now at all. But you know what? This is warm-up time. I'm not trying to do anything that looks good. I'm just trying to move. I'm trying to loosen up. I'm trying to just play right now, okay? Nobody here right now should be trying to make it look good, so don't go whining to me. My drawing doesn't look good. Why doesn't it look better? Well, because you've been drawing for 3 minutes. That's why it doesn't look better. All right, let's do one more pose, and then I will stop and look at comments and answer some questions. Okay, so we'll do this one. Okay, here we go. Let me draw over here on this side. Okay, I feel a little bit looser. I don't feel great, but let's just say my blood is pumping a little bit, whereas like I was not feeling it before. This is a weird pose. Okay, does everybody see the tilt of the wrist coming down? Like, this really has an upward motion to it. And then if I get this funky, crinkly finger, this really is guided by the hand. Like, does everybody see how huge the thumb is. Like the thumb is just this ginormous form that's just cutting across. And the fingers that are back here, they're not really doing very much, actually. Like, to me, this pose is all about the thumb. The thumb is totally in charge right now. So, like this motion here, and then everybody see how taut the skin is. Like, the skin is really getting pulled very dramatically. And here as well, it's like a lot of compression in this form right now. So I'm trying to show that. And, like, especially this, where the wrist is, like, this is very dramatic. This coming down. So I'm just going to block in. You know, I wasn't going to do shadow. I was going to do all line, but you know what, you guys, I like shading too much. So we're just going to do some shading, even though it's going to be really sloppy and look terrible. That's okay with me. And by the way, you guys, while I'm drawing, everybody tell me in the chat, are you a lifelong learner? Are you a teacher and you're looking for examples of live streaming? Are you a high school student? Just tell me who you are, because I think we have the most incredible, diverse audience. And I just love hearing where people are from and what they do. It's just really, really cool, because I know a lot of teachers. I asked people, well, I didn't ask people, I told people that I was going to be streaming tonight, and that actually one of the best things about watching somebody else stream is that you really learn a lot about what works and what doesn't, because I made the mistake of not doing that when I first started live streaming. And then when I watched other people, I was like, whoa, okay, I get it now. Like, a lot of it feels like a foreign language until you've really had that opportunity to do that. Okay, let's get this crap. Okay. All right, there we go. You guys, here's the new Art Prof game. Count how many times Clara says crap. You already have one. See, I don't know. All right. I want to show more. See, I'm being kind of wimpy right now. I don't really like the marks I'm putting down. They feel mushy and funky and weird, and I didn't get the tilt. I made it a little bit too straight. Not liking that either, guys. This is not good. Okay, 17 seconds, shoot. Okay, let's just give up on this finger. It's not happening. Okay, guys, so that is it for that set. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go back to my other screen, and we are going to take a look at comments, see what you guys are up to, answer some questions about what is going on. All right, so I'm going to go back up the comments and see what people are saying. Let's see. Seven Angelic is saying, oh, my hands are sad. Ron Nook is asking, is that your regular thing? Like when you were doing classroom teaching, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and so on, or is it something you've got for your online classes? That's pretty much what I used to do in the brick and mortar classroom. Is we would start with, say, 2 3-minute poses, do that for an hour, switch to 5-minute poses. It's just a really nice way to gradually build yourself up, because I can't start with a 30-minute pose. I feel too stiff. I need to like really move and get your blood pumping in a lot of ways. Let's see what else people are saying. And Ron Nuck, good job. You guys are retaining my lessons. Is saying, I love the rug of tone. It has helped me miraculously. I love drawing big too. I've moved from A5 to A4 to A3, and I feel the need to go bigger. Awesome. That's great. Because, you know, you guys, it doesn't matter how you draw. You just want to draw with a feeling of confidence. You want to feel empowered when you draw. Like, you don't want to feel all wimpy. You want to feel like a badass when you draw. That's how I want to feel. Maybe you guys don't feel that way. I don't know. Kat Briggs is saying, how do we find the planes? I get so distracted by the lines and the folds. That is extremely common. A lot of people, when they look at the reference imagery, it's so easy to be seduced by all those lines, because that's what you see. They pop out first. But so if I hold my hand up, guys, everybody see this? Like this back of the hand, like that's one plane and this is one plane. So it's almost like you have to look at the hand almost like it's in a mitten for a second, except a mitten that's a little bit geometric. I don't know what that would be, but think about it as a geometric mitten, and maybe that's the way to consider it. Because yes, with the hands, the first thing people do is they go, oh my God, fingers and wrinkles, what do I do? You cannot look at that stuff. The fingers and the wrinkles are going to drive you guys crazy. You really have to think about the planes and the palm and also on the back. let's see who we have here. We've got a stay-at-home mom. We've got Jennifer Brazelton, teacher looking for live streaming. Lisa A, high school teacher from Hawaii, high school student. Okay. Wow, we got a lot of high school people. Terrific. NT Mooney, high school teacher, taking your advice, checking out a live stream before I try it with the kids next week. Yeah, and tell me, those of you who are teachers, what are you noticing? Not just about my stream, but especially teachers. Really pay attention to the chat. Look at the way people in the chat are interacting with and supporting each other. I mean, I'm sort of an exception because you guys are not going to have like 100 people watching like I do. But even so, it's like, if you guys look at the chat, you see the potential of what is possible. So, oh crap, guys, I just saw the word magneto. I have to go look. What did somebody say? Neil is saying sci-fi geometric mitten that Magneto would wear. Oh, you guys are just trying to distract me now because for those of you who don't know, I kind of have a thing for Michael Fassbender. Because, okay, I'm sorry. I promise I'm going to stay on track. Let's see. Brett says, I'm a new adjunct drawing professor in Fargo, and ComCuke is a college student, and a lot of high schoolers. Okay, really cool, you guys. I'm so excited to see this. So yeah, teachers, tell me what you're observing. And I mean, I would love to have a conversation in the Discord afterwards as well with everybody to talk about how that's going as well. And remember, you guys, join us in the Discord in draw-alongs. And also, I really love it when you guys post what you drew with me in the Discord. It's so fun. It's like post-stream party, and we can see what everybody did. And teachers, you guys should make your students do that too, because come on, you guys, tell all the teachers here how much fun we have after the live stream. It's just really, really cool. All right, awesome, you guys. Okay, I just saw the word pretty men, and now I'm distracted again. Thank you, Seven Angelic. All right, guys, you ready to do some more drawing? I am, because I need to redeem myself. Okay, here we go. I gotta get into my position again. All right. Let's pull up some new images. Now, teachers, watch this. One click, check it out. Now I'm in a different position. This is what I love about OBS, is that you can change your template in OBS with literally one click. It's really quite remarkable. Okay, so let's go on to the next image. And you know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm actually going to make this into a 5-minute pose. Hang on 1 second. 5 minutes. And we're going to make this a little bit longer. Oh, shoot. This picture, I believe, is covering the timer. So let me make this a little bit smaller. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. This shape is a little bit funky. Okay, here we go. Now, the real question is, where did my pencil go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Here we go. All right. All right. Now it's time to focus, guys. It's time to actually make something that's not totally embarrassing. Okay, let's try. Well, at least try. I'm not saying I'm going to. I'm just saying I might. All right, here we go. You know what I'm going to do, actually, before I start, I don't know if you guys know this, but I always do this thing where I sort of like do a couple of strokes up here to smooth out my pencil. And that makes the side of the pencil like nice and round. So sometimes that's something I do. Okay, let's go back in here. So here is the plane. Does everybody see this? The back of the hand, that is a plane. And then we have this dramatic angle of the wrist. You know, that's a little bit too small. So I actually think I'm going to move the hand down. And does everybody notice I'm not using an eraser, okay? Some of you might feel better using an eraser, but in my opinion, in 5 minutes, you don't really have time for it. And actually, I find that more often than not, I end up using the eraser like a crutch. And for me, that's not so good because then I get really fussy. I do feel that so much of drawing is your mindset. And if I'm in this very fussy, like, oh, that's not perfect, oh, I don't like that, it's too distracting. And so for me, if I take away the option of being able to erase, it makes me move on. It makes me bolder. So for those of you who are wondering, why are you not using an eraser? You're crazy. That's the reason why, because it helps me move on. Okay, does everybody see this? So you might look at my drawing and be like, oh my God, it's so blobby. What are you doing? Yes, I know there's a scheme here. But does everybody see how even here, These are metacarpals, okay? So this is the structure that you're looking for. And you can see here, I'm also showing a little bit of where the knuckles are, okay? So even at this early stage, I am actually prioritizing the structure in the metacarpals over outlining the contour of the hands. And that's what a lot of people do. People like to trace the outline of the hands. They don't look at the structure, okay? So let's go back in here. Let's do a little more building. And what I want to do now is start to get some of the more nuanced areas. So like this area here, and I definitely need to make the wrist more apparent. Like there's this sort of bump that goes here, move that this way. And I feel like it's not wide enough, so I might just pull this finger out more. And here, I know that there's like these wrinkles in the skin, but I'm not really thinking about wrinkles. I'm thinking about joints. That's what you got to consider, okay? So we have a joint here, and it's like you're constructing this finger. And then does everybody see this fingertip? It's like really foreshortened, like it's funky looking, it's strange. This finger is a lot easier than middle finger. There's no foreshortening. So it's very straight, it's very clear exactly what needs to happen. And then there's this like really dramatic, does everybody see this like little crease in here? Like that's a really beautiful area. And then here, this finger is also quite straight, although I think this one should be a little longer. In terms of proportions, like a lot of people ask me like, okay, how do you do good proportions? You got to look at things in relation to each other. So the reason I decided to make this taller was I said, oh, it's much taller than that one. Oh crap, I only have 1 minute. Okay, I better shut up and start drawing. Okay, here we go. Let's put in the thumb over here. And I'm so not gonna get to these metacarpals the way I want to, but at the very least, I can hint in some basic shading, so you sort of know where the light is coming from. I mean, it's not gonna be great at this stage because this drawing is too short, but I can at least lay down what you guys have heard me call before the rug of tone, which is just this big sheet of tone that comes down. And then in theory, if I were to work on this longer, I would go in and make more changes. Okay, so there's my rug of tone. Here's a little bit more on this side, okay? So you can see I do not get that far in a 5-minute drawing, but guys, that's okay. You should not be getting that far in a 5-minute drawing at all. Okay, let's do another one. Ooh, this is a cool pose. I'm excited to do this one. Okay, here we go. And let me move my drawing board over a little bit, and let's start this one. Okay, so we're doing 5 minutes. Okay, this one, this is a funky looking hand. This hand has a strange point of view. Does everybody see how strange it is? Like, it's really bizarre. So there's this like mound right here that's behind the thumb, and the angle is bizarre. Like, this is one of those angles, it's so weird looking, it's like you almost have to just give in to how strange it looks. And I think what happens is people try to make it look normal, whatever that's supposed to mean, and it's not going to. It's such a strange, weird, distorted position, and just let it be that way. Okay, I'm sort of crashing into this other one, that's all right. So remember, guys, tell me what you're thinking in the chat, and ask me your questions, and tell me if you're struggling with anything. Like right now, everybody, what are you having a hard time with? Is it seeing the planes? Is it not looking at the skin folds? What are you having trouble with? Because I hear all the time people are like, oh my God, hands are so hard to do. They're really, really difficult. And so tell me right now, what is it that's driving you crazy? I mean, for me, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so out of shape. Like, it doesn't even matter what I'm drawing. Like, I could be drawing a rhinoceros and it would not matter. Like, I'm that out of shape. But for the rest of you guys, tell me what is hard for you in a hand. I love hands. I think they're incredibly expressive in a way that other parts of the figure are not. I mean, people don't usually talk about elbows being that expressive. I don't know, maybe elbows can be expressive. I never really thought about it. Okay, so everybody see, this is where things get confusing. Does everybody see how the pinky is here? Okay, and then you have this finger going behind. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just draw it through, right through that finger. Okay, don't try to draw around it, just draw through it. And then we have another finger back here, And this figure is like, whoa, really foreshortened, okay? Now I'm looking at this and I'm comparing the height of the thumb to the height of this. I actually think either this is too high or this is too low. So I'm going to do both. I'm actually going to make this thumb higher, make this thumb lower. Now I'm like drawing, I'm not drawing. That's fine. I'm drawing too big. I think the next one I might try to draw a little bit smaller. But wow, I love the skin folds in here. Like this is so, like see this? This is awesome. I love this. And you guys, you don't have to like follow every single mark. Like you just pick out the ones that you like, because this whole like accuracy thing and like following stuff, I don't have the patience or the time for that. I know some people do. I don't. I am not a precise artist in that way. I sort of cut a lot of corners. So like I would be a really bad animator. I would not be good at tech stuff. But for this is fine. Okay, let's do another rug of tone over here. And then also blocking in some of this. And so I will say, you guys, when you block in some of the tone, you are going to lose some things. Like you have to give up a lot to put the tone down. And I know this looks horribly sloppy, but on the longer poses, you guys will see I am going to start to clean it up, and it's going to start to make more sense. I think if you've never seen me draw before, you might be like, oh, are you sure you know what you're doing? I'm like, I do. I'm getting there eventually, just not right this second. So yeah. That's why it's hard to demo gesture drawing, because you're like, oh my God, people think I cannot draw because it looks so bad for so long. Like, and then things come together at the last minute. But it's like, if you don't get to that last minute, it's like, it can be very embarrassing. Oh crap, wait, shoot, that finger's over there? Oh shoot, I totally missed that. All right, that was bad. Okay, guys, see this? This finger is over here. Okay, now I'm really gonna draw on top of the other hand. This finger is like all the way up here, and this is dark. Okay, so shoot, okay, so that's better. That makes a lot more sense now, okay? So it's okay to make those changes, you guys. Like, I would much rather make those changes and make a big mess like I'm doing now than to leave it and say, oh, I'm too lazy, I don't want to bother. Like, make your draw, let it be a mess. You know, that this is not going anywhere after this. I mean, probably after this, I'm gonna like toss it in a portfolio somewhere. It's not really gonna go anywhere that's special. So try, if you can, just try not to be precious with your work, because that is such a huge limitation when you feel like you need it to like be preserved for eternity. I don't think I want mankind to be represented by my hand drawings anyway, so maybe that's a good thing. Okay. All right, guys, let's take a short break. So I'm gonna put this aside and I'm gonna take a look at some of your comments and see what you guys are up to. Tell me how you're doing. And teachers, tell me your observations about the live stream, if it's what you expected or if it's something very different than what you expected. Okay, let's see what we've got going on. I'm just scrolling on up to see what people are doing. Tom G is busy making spaghetti fingers. Good job. I applaud you. And let's see, Vitamin Andrea is saying, I think one of the most appealing things about your teaching methods is that you're so friendly and kind. Most of my art teachers that I have in school are really cold towards students and their art. Well, I can tell you that I understand that, because, you know, something from a teacher point of view, you do have to put your foot down because if you don't, oh my God, the students will eat you alive. And so I can tell you from teaching at RISD, I'm not this friendly the first day of class. Like, I definitely have to read the rules and tell everybody, but you can work up to that, certainly as a teacher. I think that it's a gradual process that you work through. Simple Triskel is saying the interaction in the live stream in the Discord cannot be beat. Definitely one of the best parts of my week. I know, you guys, isn't it so much more fun to draw with people than totally by yourself? I mean, I know this is not real life. And if I had all the money in the world and I had a teleporter and I lived in Star Trek and I was also living in X-Men and I could, you know, be married to Magneto and stuff, even though he murders people. Yes, I would love to have all those things, but we don't right now. We're in a global pandemic. People are where they are. And honestly, this is not real life, but it's pretty freaking good, right? So those of you who are not teachers, reassure the teachers that, yes, this will never be real life, but it's pretty good also, okay? It's something else. It's apples and oranges. That's how I would think about it. Okay, let's see what else people are saying. Raw Nook is asking, would you say using sandpaper to even out the woodless graphite pencils is okay too? Which approach is better? You know what? That sounds really smart, Raw Nook. And now I'm like, why am I not doing that? I mean, that sounds great. Totally do it. I guess I'm just like lazy because then I'm like, ugh, I have to go find sandpaper. Where the heck is that? I mean, I just moved. I don't know where anything is right now. So yeah, that's my excuse for being lazy. And Vitamin says, I think as students, we care more about someone rooting for us, believing in us, of course, all the while teaching, but having a lot of post-Soviet teachers, it seems like they absolutely disregard students. I mean, it really varies. There's so many different teaching contexts and so many different types of teachers and schools and everything. But I think with remote learning, my feeling is that students need more motivational support than ever. Like, whatever amount you usually give your students for motivation, you got to double it online. It's a lot of work, but it's high impact if you guys can really do that. Lilac is saying, for me, it's the size of the fingers. I always make them look blobby and stiff. Well, you know what I would do, Lilac, is really just compare things. Like, how long is this finger to this finger? How wide is the thumb compared to this finger? So it's like, you really are always like moving around the hand. Like you don't want to just look at one spot and be like, okay, I've got to fix this finger. Like if you try to fix one finger by itself, that's going to be really, really hard to do. Let's see. Chill Out says the fact that fingers are blocking the other fingers from view. Yes, that is really hard. And we're going to have a couple poses where the fingers are going to be all over the place. It's going to drive you crazy, but that's why I put them in there, right? Screamer says, measuring things just get distorted in my mind as soon as I take my eyes off of them. You know what though? That's okay. Let it get distorted and then fix it. Because you know something, I think a lot of people put pressure on themselves that, okay, I gotta like nail it the first time through. Nobody does. Like you just have to make a mess and then clean it up. It is easier to fix something that is flawed than to nail it the first time through. I never do. Seven Angelic wants to know about drawing a rhino. Well, if you guys can bring a rhino to my house so we can draw from life. No, I'm just kidding. We'll do something on animals at some point for sure. Okay, let's see. Oh my God, there's so many comments, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to try my best to get to everything. Dan is asking, how much does a nude model charge? Is that a good idea to draw live? I mean, if you can get to a situation where you can draw from a nude model in class, totally do it. It's amazing. I love it. One of my favorite things in the world. But generally speaking, most models don't really like working one-on-one with somebody if they don't know them really well. And so my suggestion would be, after the pandemic is over, is to go find a local art center or school. Sometimes they have like open drawing sessions. I would do that first because I have a couple models who will work with me, but it's because they know me as a teacher and I'm not some skis on Craigslist. So I think that's probably a good way to get started. And Mary Proenza says, you're right about motivational support teaching during the pandemic. Important also to be flexible about materials for students working at home with little space or budget. You guys can ask the teaching artists at Art Prof how not flexible I am. Usually in a brick and mortar classroom, I'm so certain that I want students to do things a certain way, but with remote learning, you can't do that. It's just really unfair because it's really hard for people to do the stuff that they want to do because there's so many limitations right now. Maria is saying, my biggest difficulty with hands, I always have to go over them again because my brain thinks that people only have 4 fingers. I totally did that, Maria. There was one drawing stream a couple months ago where I'm like, wait, there's only 4 fingers. Like, yeah, you guys want to keep an eye on the number of fingers. Otherwise, it's going to be like the Princess Bride with the 6-fingered man or something like that. Like, you're totally going to get screwed. Cerulean is saying, remote learning is tough. I found last semester the teachers really tried to do their best in the tough COVID situation. I'm really, really glad you said that, Cerulean, because I've been talking to a lot of teachers. I've been doing a lot of training sessions for faculty at schools. You guys, they are trying so hard. They are doing quadruple the amount of homework. they're doing the best they can. So honestly, students, if you guys are working with teachers this semester, number one, please be patient with them. And number two, give them a hand. Like, tell them if there's something that you know about YouTube that's better, that maybe they don't know that you have this setting or something like that. That is really, really helpful, you guys, because I think really ultimately people really are doing the best that they can. Zare, the music man, says, my brother draws. He always has trouble on the feet and hair. Can you help? Well, we are going to be doing streams on that later on, but if you go to my Instagram, I actually have a highlight that talks about how to draw hair. So you might check that out. It'll tie you over for now. Okay, let's move on. Let's do some longer poses. I think I'm ready to not make such horrible, terrible looking drawings. I hope. Although, I don't know, you guys, like drawing longer, it's not necessarily always a better situation. Like, I think a lot of people assume, oh, well, if I have longer, it's gonna be better. But that is not always true, you guys. Actually, a lot of the times, if I have too much time, I end up fussing, and that's not good either. Okay, so let's get on to another page. I'm just gonna flip this over like this. Let's move on to our next reference photo. Let's see. Okay. Let's take a look at the next photo, which is here. Okay, let's increase this to, let's do 8 minutes. I think that's better. It's a little bit longer, but not too long. And by the way, you guys, just a quick primer, if you guys want to remember this, metacarpals, okay, remember that? And we also have phalanges, okay? So the phalanges are the like really thinny bones that are in the fingers, and we also have the metacarpals. And if you missed my stream with Michael Fassbender, okay, you can go back and watch. You can learn something about fingers, and or you can just look at other parts of the body too. Okay, here we go. Let's do 8 minutes. We're gonna get started. Oh, let me pull up that other reference again. I believe it was this one. Okay, here we go, guys. I am gonna draw a little smaller right now because I feel like I sort of overdid it. And you know what? I'm gonna try. This is my thing, okay? I felt in the last few drawings I was drawing too dark, too fast. So I'm actually gonna meander a little bit more, and I think that's okay. I feel that I need that right now. Okay, I'm not really, I don't know, I'm just not feeling that bold right now. I still am in warm-up mode. Maybe at the end I'll start really whipping out the big guns, but right now I'm still wandering. Okay, so let's get the mass of the back of the hand, find the wrist, which is about here, and get the direction of that. And I'm just gonna do the general direction of the fingers. Oh my God, they're already way too big. Oh well. Okay, I'm probably gonna change the shape of these quite a bit because that totally looks like a sausage. I had sausage pizza for dinner. That must be why. Okay. And then, this is way too small. Okay, does everybody see? I've only been drawing for like a minute, but already I'm looking at the scale relationships. I'm looking at this. I'm going, you know what? This back of the hand is too small for the finger. So I'm going to fix this right away. A lot of people don't do this. They don't check the proportions until they're like 10 minutes into the drawing, and then they don't want to change it. So I'm going to change it now, and I'm going to make this bottom part of the hand a lot bigger, and that's going to move the wrist down here. So the thing I will tell you guys about drawing the figure, you have to be willing to make changes. You can't just draw it once and say that's good enough. You have to be willing to make those fixes, because if you don't, it's like you're going to live with those proportional issues through the whole drawing. Like at a certain point, it's just going to be really hard to fix. Okay, so so that proportion's a little bit better because that pulls down the wrist to there. All right, that's better. And then this finger sort of overlaps in front. Okay, now let's find the knuckles are about here. There's another knuckle here. This knuckle's going that way. Does everybody see the direction of that? And then here is the metacarpal this way. That's another metacarpal, and then here's another metacarpal, okay? So even at this early stage, we are thinking structurally, okay? Here, this is a joint. This here is a joint, and this here is a joint, okay? This here too, but you can't see it so well. And on the thumb, this is like the soft part. Here's the angle of the fingernail. Here's a joint here. This comes down, and then there's a little bit of a nuance coming in this way, okay? So even at this early stage, you guys have to think about structure, okay? All right, now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put in my famous rug of tone. Let's just block that in real quick. If you guys don't know what the rug of tone is, it's just this big swath of tone that I like to lay down real quick, and then I build and layer on top of that. So I'm just finding like the big areas of dark over here, right there. And actually, right next to this metacarpal, there's like a little pocket of tone. This metacarpal has some, this one. And there definitely are nuances, and I'll get to those. But right now, I just want to show basically where the tone is going to live. And actually, everybody see the thumb is all tone. Okay, this one actually has no highlight on it at all. So I'm just going to fill it in really, really fast. Okay, so this is the rug of tone. Now, because I put down the rug of tone, everything is like blobby and messy. But see, this is where you go back in with some line work and you really emphasize certain areas. Like out of the big blob, there are a couple parts that you guys want to pull out. So for example, I might want to go in here and really show like this knuckle here. There's sort of an indentation. And then this lower part of knuckle 2, this like kind of lost a little bit. So I'm going to pull that back. And maybe a little bit more on the wrist. There's this skin fold that shows the wrist a little bit better. And this finger, it's a little bit too wooden. Like does everybody see? It sort of bulges up here, and then it comes out again, and it's very bulgy around the joint. And this finger is actually much more bulgy than that, okay? So let's pull this up, make a little bit more of this knuckle, give it a bigger deal, and then make this a little bit harsher like this. Because I tend to like to make things too harsh and then pull back a little bit. And actually, let me grab my eraser, because I do want to start moving some of this stuff around like that. And let's see, okay, joint up here. And then does everybody see here, the fingernail is like really foreshortened. Like, see how strange that looks? Okay, and then maybe a little bit more of the joint. Yeah, like this finger is weird. Like it's got this like big bulge up here, and then it comes down. Oh, and I totally forgot about this. Everybody see this little pocket of skin that's in between? I totally did not pick up on that at first. Okay, well, here we go. And now I have a little piece of a finger coming back there. This is way too mushy. Okay, don't do what I did. That looks like frosting or something. Okay. You know what? I gotta pull up on some of this. I think I got too dark. Ugh, I always go too dark. That is my problem. I think it's because I just really, really like dark tones. Like I find them like very, very satisfying to put down. So I have a lot of trouble like restraining myself when it comes to stuff like that. But you know, all right. Now I'm gonna start to be a little bit more aggressive, but I don't know, I'm not totally ready. Like I want to do some of the skin folds, but I still feel like I'm missing a lot of the structure in here, and I do want to give this thumb something a little bit more concrete, a little bit too blobby right now. Let's see. Ugh, no, that's bad. I don't like that. It looks really bad. Shoot. Oh no. I was like feeling better, and now I'm like, oh no, Clara, this is not good. You know, you guys ever feel like you're in denial, or like you're like, it's good, it's good. Maybe if I say that a couple more times, it will miraculously. Nah. It's like some days you just gotta admit things are not going. I mean, I don't know. I haven't felt the like bite that I'm looking for. I haven't gotten there yet. It could be the material. I will confess, I don't really like drawing with graphite that much. It's just, I know this is my excuse because I was moving, like I honestly can't find anything right now. So, all right. Oh, shoot, 54 seconds. Okay, I am going to spend a little bit of time maybe pushing some of that stuff with the, like, especially up here, there's like a lot of skin that's getting wrinkled. And down here as well, I feel like I'm missing some of the more subtle parts. Oh God, it's like I look at this hand drawing and I'm like, there's so much that could be better. It's like, oh my God, where do I even begin? Okay. And there's some beautiful reflected light in this drawing. I'm not going to get to it, but if you guys spend more time on these, I think you will see that. That does end up being the case. Okay, like there's a shadow core over here. Actually, this is a little bit too, yeah, I think I do want to put a little feeling of the skin up. 4 seconds, there we go. All right, guys, let's do another one, and then I'll stop and take a look at comments. Okay, so let's look at what the next picture is. Oh, this is a good one. This one's got a lot of like compression. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? This is another 8-minute pose. And remember, keep telling me in the chat, what are you struggling with? Be honest. How do you really feel about your drawing? Do you feel like you're in Dante's Inferno? You know, we're all drama queens here, so we can be honest with each other. Tell me what is like for you right now. Okay, here we go. Let's start. 8 minutes. Okay, and I'm gonna move this all the way over here because I want to make sure I give myself enough space. Okay, now I'm actually really gonna try this time to be bolder, and I'm gonna try to really get aggressive. Okay, I actually what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put on my little Kathy Kollowitz hat. That's not to say I'm gonna get Kathy Kollowitz results. I'm just gonna put on the hat. That's it. Okay, let's see. This is a pretty long hand, and this is a big mass of the thumb. And does everybody remember this division of the palm, like clear as day? Okay, so you have this section here, you have this bigger section that comes down, the section that comes down on the right, and then here's the wrist coming down like this. There's the thumb, and the fingers come up pretty high, so I would guess like, maybe if I look at the tips of the fingers, there's the top one. This one's a little bit lower. This one's lower than that one. And this one's lower than there. Okay? So does everybody see, instead of just drawing like, oh, individual fingers, I actually looked at the pads of the fingers and I said, okay, well, where do they line up in relation to each other? Like this pad of the finger is the tallest one. This one is the next tallest. This one's even shorter. And then I'm going to fill in from there. Okay? There's no particular order that you have to draw things in. It's just for me, I find it easier to line up the tips of the fingers than to draw each finger individually and try to fit them. I feel like this for me is a little bit more intuitive. Okay, so here's the other finger. And the thumb is like, geez, the thumb is gigantic. The thumb is weird. Like, I feel bad for the thumb. It's like alone. It's alone, like Mr. Rochester and Jane Eyre. Oh my God, you guys, when I found those deleted scenes from Jane Eyre on YouTube, I had a fit. I was like, oh my God, there's like Mr. Rochester footage, and I didn't know it existed. Oh my God, I watched that like 8 times in a row. It was so good. He's wearing that cute, like, blood vest. It's just, okay, forget it. We need to draw, guys. Like, we can fangirl in Discord later. Okay, here we go. All right, I want to really pay attention to down here, and I want to break this up and really show the direction of the skin. Now, does everybody see how I'm trying to really shift my marks? So some of these marks here, they're wider and broader, but then I'm also doing some marks like this, which are actually pretty sharp and a lot more detailed. So I would say even at this early stage, it's really good for you guys to try to diversify your mark making so you're not drawing the same line over and over again, okay? So sometimes you put down a line that's thick, sometimes it's thin, sometimes it's dark, but really try to vary the range of your strokes. Okay, now I'm gonna do a little surgery on the phalanges, okay? Because these look like potatoes and that's not happening right now. Okay, so let's get a little more nuance in here, and I do want to change up the segments in the fingers. And actually, this is so cool. Everybody see this finger? This is actually the angle of the fingernail, and then this part protrudes. And so you would think, oh, you don't see the fingernail there. Yeah, but you do see the angle of it, okay? Even here as well, we have a little bit. And here too. Oh yeah, here you can really see the fingernail. Okay, so this comes out. And then this, I think I made that a little too big at first. Let's show that compression a little bit better. And this is actually better articulated, and there's some strokes going this way. So this is like a very fatty, very like soft portion of the hand. And so I don't want to have things look stiff in that area. And I think I'm almost ready for my rug of tone, although I definitely think I need more on that side. Yeah. I don't know. Like, do this, you guys. If you haven't done it, like, just sort of move your head back and look at your hand from a distance. And I am seeing this is too blobby. So I'm going to show more of a knuckle here, have this pull out, and I'm actually going to make this a little bit wider. And I think that is going to look better, like that. Okay, let's try this. Now I think I'm almost ready for my rug of tone. So let's get that in here. I guess I've got tone up here on the right side of the fingers. And then there's this like pocket in the middle. Like this is really beautiful, the way you have this like, I guess it's like a little valley, like in the middle of the hand. Think about it that way. And then also some shading on this side, quite a bit over here, down here. And you guys, it's okay to be sloppy with the shading. Like you don't need the shading to look good. Just block it in, you'll come back, you'll fix it later. I mean, I'm not gonna do anything that long today because the next live drawing stream for this month, I am gonna do like a finished hand drawing. Today, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do like quicker sketches. So we're not gonna get to anything super long today because I just really want you guys to understand how to set it up. Like I'm actually less worried about what you guys do later. I actually think it's the setup of the drawing that people have trouble with. And the thing is, the setup, it's not glamorous. It's like, it's not the part that people are impressed by. And so I think a lot of people, they just don't want to do it. And I'm like, yeah, but you can't do the fun stuff if you don't like have a good setup going on. Okay, so now let me just pop in a couple of these bolder strokes because now I'm starting to feel a little bit bolder. I mean, I'm not feeling amazing, but it's not, doesn't feel so unfamiliar now, which is a really nice thing to feel. Okay, so let's pull out some of these more dramatic pockets, like in here. I'm gonna try to get this to show more the form and probably need to pull up some of the drama over here on this side. So now I am trying to show like, where is it soft? Where is it harsh? And like here, I want to get the knuckles better because I sort of lost this. Oh, sheesh, that looks terrible. Okay. All right, let's do that. And by the way, you guys, I really hope that you use our reference collection because you know what? It's actually hard to find good, high quality photos of hands that have good lighting. So those of you guys who have used the Art Prof reference photo collection, tell me if it's helped you because if it is helping people, I'll try to add more. It's just, it's not super high on my priority list because I have a lot of other things that need to get done. But I mean, if it really is helping people and you guys want me to work on it more, I will. Because, you know, I'm an art educator at your beck and call, so. All right. Okay, I gotta step back a little bit more. And, you know, I gotta jump up here. I'm getting too stuck in this area. So guys, don't do what I just did. Did you see I was like laboring this too much? Don't do that, okay? Make yourself jump around to the other parts of the page because these fingers are not gonna draw themselves. So let's get those going. Oh my God, I only have 37 seconds, shoot. No, no, don't do that. Okay, and this one, I really wanna emphasize more. Oh, jeez, I don't feel like I got like, I want tension. Like I really don't feel like I'm getting the tension right now. And I don't think I can blame the drawing being short. I think it's sort of my fault, which is annoying because then I have to take responsibility for that and I can't blame it on the tuna sandwich I ate today, which is way easier and more fun to do. All right, let's see. All right, guys, let's take a break so I can stop and see what you're saying in the chat. Okay, here we go. Let me just put down my drawing board. And I'm gonna come up here and see what you guys are talking about. I hope you guys are having fun. This is so cool. I've been like looking forward to this all week because I missed doing these draw-alongs. They're just so much fun. Sit and chat with people about art. Okay, let's see what people are saying. Okay, I'm scrolling up. Maria is saying the change between in-person and online is hard for a lot of people. It's not a skill set a lot of teachers needed to have. Yeah, I mean, we did not train to teach online. Nobody did. And so it's been a very abrupt transition for a lot of people. It's really, really hard. Starving Artist says, Clara, are the photos of your own hands? How did you set up to take them? Some of them are my hands. Some of them are from various people who I've hung out with. Like, for example, we actually went fishing last weekend. And so I got to take all these cool shots of people stringing fishing line. So it's really fun because sometimes I like photos that are very like posed. Like the one that you guys are seeing right now, that I was just drawing from, those are like really posed. But I really liked the fishing ones because you could get hands that were in more different directions. But yeah, it's people around me. It's like, you know, family, people around who I, you know, sneak around and take photos of their hands. Okay, let's see. What else are people talking about here? Latamai, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name, says, I find it funny how the parts you're not focusing on is the stuff I'm focusing on. Everybody sees things differently, and I don't think, you guys, that there's a correct way to draw things. I just like to think about where's your mind, because so many people, when they draw, they think it's all about the physical experience, and that's a big part of it, don't get me wrong. But I do really think that the way you think about drawing in some ways is more important than the skill set that you have. I mean, it depends obviously on who you are, and are we talking 10 years of experience, 2 days of experience, but your mind counts for a lot, you guys. So don't tell yourself it's about just your skills. It's also your mindset as well. Let's see what other people are saying. Sophie is asking, how do you start drawing realistically? I would say, Sophie, draw from life. That's really, really helpful. For these draw-alongs, I don't draw from life because I like people to be able to draw with me, and also because if I want to do some wacky pose or I want to do a drawing of somebody who's much older than me, I obviously can't do that myself. But I would say, Sophie, in any other situation where you can draw from life, you should, because a lot of people don't, and it's a really, really big problem because you train your eye to get used to looking at photos, and photos, I think, are not that helpful when you're just getting started. Kat Briggs says, struggling with not focusing on one finger at a time. Yeah, guys, try not to do that. I mean, try to really see like a group of fingers. I mean, the thumb is different. The thumb, like we said in the Michael Fassbender video, remember that this is like a clique. This is like an annoying clique of popular girls in high school. And they're so mean to the poor thumb, who is really such a nice, kind person, but is not enough a jerk to exclude people like the click and the fingers do. So just think about how you group things. That is very, very helpful. And Jay Cabby says, I've been to a few of these drawing sessions. I have no idea how you capture the whole form so fast. I always get stuck on putting in pieces of the form. Honestly, Jay Cabby, a lot of that is just practice. I'm sorry to be so boring about it, but the more you guys draw, the better you're going to be. I mean, it's so similar to athletics. Like those of you guys who have trained for a marathon, you just know you get better, you get faster. Like sometimes it's really not boring. Okay, let's see what else people are saying. Oh my God, there's so many comments. I'm going to try my best to get to all of these. CCH5NG says, I just found the bones reference that were posted this week. I haven't drawn from them, but bookmarked them to return to. Very cool. If you guys want to know what we're talking about, these are some animal bones that I actually found in the desert here in Utah. And they were so cool that I was like, oh my God, I need to shoot reference photos of these because they're awesome. But we have other things, like there's a whole section on scissors. We also have pictures of hands holding time and M&Ms and all kinds of things. I mean, it's super fun. So I will try to do as many as I can. Sophie O says, what type of painting should I get started with? I use watercolor now, but I want to be able to use many different mediums. I would say, Sophie, get started with acrylic, because I think the issue with oil is that there's just so much you have to learn in terms of materials. If you don't have ventilation, watercolor is hard, you guys. I find watercolor extremely difficult to do. And I actually think that it's one of the more challenging painting mediums. So I would say start with something like that. And Moonbeam is asking, what is the 2500 challenge? Okay, well, the 2500 challenge, it's in the Discord. And there's actually a channel called the 2500 challenge. And I can't remember the numbers, But Jordan McCracken Foster, who is a teaching artist, he runs it. And I think it's something like 500 heads and 1,000 hands. And he's got all these rules for how you guys can do it. Maybe some of you who are doing the 2,500 can tell people what's going on with that. But it's really, really fun. It's a great way to get practice just because like the sheer quantity of what you guys are doing. By the way, if you guys want other references, this is a great book. It's called The Human Figure in Motion, and it's by Edward Muybridge. And it's just pages and pages of nude figures doing all different kinds of poses. So this is another good one. And then the basic anatomy book that I recommend is Artistic Anatomy by Dr. Paul Roche. So if you guys want this information, I believe a lot of it's in the video description below, but definitely do that. Ron Nook is asking about a watercolor tutorial. You know what? Guys, I am so close to releasing part 1 of my Utah watercolor tutorial. So close. Like, I just need to do the sound mix. It's coming out like any day now. So anyway, we will do the best we can. And Prof Terry says, I always use sports analogies in class too. I feel it's so repetitive but true. Practice, practice. I know, like, don't you feel so boring being like, well, just spend more time doing it? Like, you wish you could have this more like glamorous way of saying that to people, but it's true. I mean, sometimes you guys just need to do more of it. And that really makes a big, big difference. By the way, you guys, you can also tag us. So if you're drawing right now and you're watching, you can tag us on Instagram with Art Prof Show. We love it when you guys do that. And we are also looking for people to submit the drawings they make from our tutorials. If you guys want a shout out on YouTube, we show the work at the end. We say a little bit about who you are. So please go to artprof.org, click on tutorials, and you guys will find the submission form. It's really, really fun. Okay, guys. Let's do one that's a little bit longer. Let's do 10 minutes because I feel like I need a little bit more time. And, okay, this is really shallow, but I feel like I'm so out of shape that I am feeling very embarrassed about how bad my drawings are that I feel like I need to redeem myself. I know, it's not really shallow. It's like, there are all these things that you shouldn't be doing and you do them anyway. Like, I'm such a hypocrite. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. This time I'll make sure the timer is not in the way. Okay, so we're gonna look at this one. All right, so let's change the timer to 10 minutes, like that. And we're gonna get this going, like that. Okay, I gotta grab my pencil. And this one, no, I guess I'm gonna draw this the same size. I don't wanna make it too big. Okay, so I'm gonna start down here at the bottom. And this is a weird pose because the hand is so compressed. So I'm really going to rely on the palm to lead me. So does everybody see, here's a plane, here's a plane, and here's a plane, okay? Here is this big mass, okay? Remember, the palm is like divided into these sections. Tell me, by the way, if you guys got to watch my hand lecture, because I had a lot of fun making that slideshow. It's so bad. It's like, I'm like, okay, I got to do work. And then I'm like, I think I need to watch Jane Eyre again. It's really, really bad. Okay. So let's look for joints. There's a joint up here. And there's that finger. And okay, here is where I'm really going to group the fingers. Okay, let me show you this. So everybody see there's this like cluster of these 3 fingers, and there's like a plane here, and then they bend this way, like that, okay? So now I'm gonna divide them up. There's one finger here, there's another one here, and there's another one here, okay? So they're not like little bars of butter, you know, you don't wanna make them so perfect, because now I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna make changes. So I'm gonna go through and say, you know what, this part is a little rounder, this finger goes down a little bit more, and I'm going to do a little bit of the fingernail because I just need to get a sense of scale. And now this finger in the middle, it comes down and it sort of tilts more. Does everybody see how the angle's not the same? And then the fingernail's down here. And then this finger, hang on, I got to make this a little more clear. This finger, the joint is like a little bit higher, and then the bottom finger is more like here, okay? So does everybody see in the beginning, I just put like a lump, but now what I've done is I've subdivided into something that is a little bit easier to follow. And now the pinky really is doing its own thing, so I'm going to stick it over here. And again, really emphasizing those joints, showing the compression of the skin, getting fingernail down, and then there's like really strong compression here. And this is a little bit too mechanical looking. We'll make that a little bit rounder. And again, you guys, because these are sketches, all right? Nobody here should be trying to do a good drawing, okay? Even though I'm like getting all ridiculous about it. Just focus on the experience. The experience matters more than the physical object at this point. Okay, now the hand is way too small. Everybody see this? Like, I thought this was totally cool, but now that I've added the fingers, it's way too small. So now I have to adjust. I'm gonna put the hand all the way up here. So it's like, it's constant changes, all right? This hand going up here, and then maybe this joint, and then there's like really strong crease of the thumb. Maybe this joint, oh, it got too dark. I think I'm like drawing way too dark right now. I really should draw a little bit lighter than I am. Just get rid of some of that stuff. Okay, let's get the angle of this thumb better, because I don't know. I think I got this palm a little bit too low. Hang on a second. Let's reevaluate this. Okay, if that's there. Yeah, I think this was a little bit too low before. So now I'm going to pull this coming down this way. I guess that looks too wide. Ugh. Okay, hang on. Let's not do any harsh decision making right now. I think it got too big. Ugh. Okay, whatever. I don't know. Let's just keep making changes. I mean, that's what you guys have to do. And by the way, I'm not going for a perfectly accurate copy of this photo. The copy for me is a reference. That's it. Because I get a lot of comments. Sometimes people will watch my streams. They'll say, well, your finger should be 1 millimeter higher. This is a little bit, and I'm like, yes, I know. But the thing is, it's like, this is not really why I'm here. I'm not here to make something look so perfect. I'm just using this as a beginning, okay? All right, so let's get that shape in. And then, I think it's like, okay, I'm gonna step back and see, I'm gonna squint a little bit. Tell me, you guys, if you squint. Because I'm squinting right now and it's really helping me. And I'm noticing that this thumb should be a little bit lower. And also that this should be a little thinner. Okay, I think I went a little overboard on this hand here, but that's okay. See how many times I drew? Like, I drew this like 8 times. It's such a mess, but that's all right. It's fine. Okay, and let's get some of this in here. And then, does everybody see how dramatic this line is? Like this one that kind of, I guess it comes around this way. There's one here, and this one goes across. Ooh, geez, this is a real mess. All right, let's do some rug of tone. Okay, I'm getting too fussy about the line work. So I think I'm gonna do some tone, which is of course gonna make everything a big mess again, but that's okay, because I need lighting. And then this is all tone here. Thumb is all in tone. So the rug of tone for a lot of people, it looks very barbarian, like it's very primitive looking, but it helps you. I think it does, helps me. Can't guarantee it's gonna help you. I hope it helps you, but we'll see. All right, and now more in here like this. And then this is like a big pocket of tone. This is also in tone. And I suppose most of the top of the hands too. Those are all toned as well. Okay. Yeah, this is a weird pose, isn't it? Jeez, it's hard. Okay. Okay, more squinting, guys. I'm squinting. Oh, shoot, you know what it is? Okay, I think this hand is way too high still. I mean, I know I'm talking about like, oh, it doesn't have to be accurate, but it's like I want it to be in the ballpark so I'm not like totally confused by everything. Okay, now we're gonna go in, and I think I'm just gonna pull the big guns now. I'm just gonna draw, and if it looks terrible, whatever, it's fine. I need to pull out, I don't know, I just feel like I was being so careful before. I don't want to do that right now. Okay, so who cares if it looks totally wrong and inaccurate? I just want to give this drawing some bite. I guess is what I'm saying. I want to give it a feeling that I'm really engaging with the drawing, like even if it looks not so great, I just want to put something down and feel dramatic about it, I suppose. It's probably going to get too dark again because I'm really bad about that, but like here underneath this finger, like this is actually pretty dark in here, so let's really push that down, make that have a little bit more presence. And then maybe back here, yeah, I just need to press down harder and be more assertive about this because I'm so not doing that right now. Okay. Tell me how your drawings are going. What are you guys saying? Are you saying the Professor Lieu crap word over? If I was not streaming live, that is not the word I would be using. But, you know, I don't want to get demonetized on YouTube. Okay. Let's build this up a little bit better. And I feel that this, I just want to, I want to put down some marks that don't feel so wimpy. Like I feel like such a wimp right now. I just want it to have bite. That's what I want. I want those like Kathy Kolowitz marks. That makes me sad. Actually, I would take William Kentridge marks. Those would be fine too. Also Peter Paul Rubens and, you know, all those amazing people who make us feel so inferior. They're great though, you know? I'm not trying to knock Rembrandt or any of those guys. They're great. It's just they make me develop an inferiority complex. That's all. Because you're like, why am I even trying? They did it so much better. So much earlier. But there's a reason why we're all here, guys. I think there's a reason why people still draw. That's how I feel about it. Oh, shoot. I only have a minute. Okay, now I'm going to... Okay. No excuses now. Okay. Let's do it. Let's really put down something. At the very least, I can say it's got energy, okay? Even if it doesn't look great, I want to feel that punch. Let's just... Oh, shoot. Okay, now things are going to get ugly, but whatever. I want to just, like, feel a little taste of Kathy Kolowitz, like, just a little bit. Like, that's all I ask for, just a moment. You know, I want to be like her. Well, I don't want to be like her. She lived in a very terrible time period and experienced terrible things. So I just want to draw like her. Like, that's enough. I just want to draw like her. I don't want her life. Her life was really, really difficult. Not a life I would aspire to or want to be a part of. Okay. This needs help. Okay. Oh my God. 14 seconds here. Shoot. Oh, no. I did not get in enough here. Oh, shoot. No. Okay. Reset. All right, guys. Let's come back here and see what you guys are saying. Okay, let's put this down. See what's going on in the chat. See what you guys are up to. All right, I'm going to scroll up. Let's see what people are saying. Guys are chatting about watercolor, very cool. And let's see, Prof Terry says, the graphite's challenging because I never use it. I know, me too. I never use it either. Like 9 times out of 10, I would rather not use pencil, but it's the only thing that I could find. So, and let's see. Maria Kelson says, anyone else have a hard time making out shapes when squinting at a screen? To do it while looking at paper or a real object is easier. Oh, absolutely. I mean, looking at any screen is always inferior than seeing something in real life. Really not easy to do. Wow, Calm Cuke, this is great. I love this. Mine looks atrocious, like a ball of meat. That's great. I love that. Grace Liu says stressful. Blue Will Spirit says great workout. And Studio Tinidril says quite the balancing act between energy and looseness. And Smiley Fest says, I feel like this was hard because the whole hand had like a circle shape because it was fisted into itself. Yeah, the hand can get into these weird positions that don't make a lot of sense. And that's what's really, really difficult to do. Very cool, you guys. Yeah, Tom is saying it's a tough angle. And David says, oh crap, did I even draw a hand? Ooh, Latamai says, mine looks like a dark mass. Oh, that is deep. I like that. A dark mass. Moonbeam says, I have to crack my knuckles between each drawing. John Murph says, that was a difficult one. It looked like the tip of your finger sunbathed. It messed up the shadows. And Eric is saying the longer drawings feel like they're getting harder and harder. That is such a good point. So many people think when the drawings get longer, it gets easier. That's not always true. I think sometimes with the longer drawings, it's really easy to lose that spontaneity and that gesture. And certainly that can happen a lot for a lot of people. Let's see. Seba Olav says stressful, but I feel much looser and happier with the results. And Kat Briggs says, I like how you are acknowledging the ball of meat and other very human responses. You know what? It should be fun. Like, why do we have to be so uptight about everything? Like, you guys, honestly, like, I liked academia parts of it, but there are other parts I do not miss. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody right now about critical making, and I don't want to talk about the juxtaposition. I just want to talk about ball of meat, okay? Ball of meat and dark mass, way better than critical making. I will take that any day of the week, you guys. All right, guys, let's do one more. How about let's make this one a 15-minute drawing, because I want to see if I can actually make something that I'm not horrified by. So, all right, let's set the timer to 15 minutes, and then I'm going to get back into my drawing position, and let's see what we can do. Okay. There's my drawing board, and let's get, actually, I think I'm probably going to need another sheet of paper because I sort of drew like right in the middle. So let me just tear this off, this, and I'll draw on, let's get another sheet of paper. I think this one's going to make pencil like all over the place. Okay, I hope this is a good pose. Let me see. I don't know what's next. Oh, this is a good one, you guys. Okay, this is going to be a good 15-minute pose. I'm very excited. I like these, like, scary-looking, like, crab leg poses. They're really, really fun. Okay, ready? We're going to do 15 minutes, and let's see what happens. Okay, 15 minutes. Okay, I'm psyched for this one, okay? That means that, okay, there's extra pressure now. Okay, let's try this. Guys, I'm going to pull out all the guns now. We're going to do this. We're going to make this happen. Absolutely. Okay, group the fingers together. Everybody see that? This is like a mass of fingers here. And then this finger is doing what? The thumb connects this way. And look at this big shape of the palm. Everybody see that? Okay, and this angle of the finger, this coming down like this. Okay. You know, this should be more dramatic, I think. Okay, there we go. This is a huge hand. Why am I drawing this so big? I don't know. I guess I want the space. Okay, so let's organize this a little bit more. There's more of the finger. This, I think, is too high. Let me bump that down a little bit. And then maybe this. Okay, so here's like the tip of the finger. And then the thumb is like hiding back here. There's another joint. Shoot, that is like, ugh, what is happening? All right, let's just search around. I have a feeling this finger is too big. But does everybody see how unsure things are at the beginning? Like, it should be that way. Like, you should never feel so like, oh, I know where that is. Like, that's not going to happen. So it's okay to have this doubt when you draw. That's what I think. I don't think you should ever feel that secure about what you're doing, because you want to leave your options open. You want to feel when you're drawing that anything is possible. Otherwise, it's like you feel so trapped. Like, it's not a good thing. Okay, I got to move down here. I'm sort of ignoring this. And you know what? I'm going to try to draw a little faster and a little bit more assertively. And you guys tell me what you're going to try to do, because I think it does not hurt when you're working on something to have like a short-term goal. Like, just to say, okay, for this drawing, I'm going to think more about shading, or in this drawing, I'm going to be a little bit more conscious of the bone structure, like whatever it is you guys want to do. It doesn't matter. But just to have some type of goal is sometimes a really good thing. Okay, now this is a really dramatic area of tone. And there's like this big swath of like, ooh, that is really cool and intense. I love that. Okay, and then does everybody see how this pocket, it like cuts across the hand, yeah, I know, it's a mess. It looks really bad, you guys. Ugh, you know that feeling where you're like, I'm gonna do it. This one's gonna be the good one. And then it's like you totally shoot yourself in the foot by saying that. Like, you just never say that. Just don't tell yourself it's gonna be good. That's like basically a guarantee it's not. But you know what? Now it's a big mess. And now I don't care. So let's just try that. Okay, so this finger, and then again, I'm just gonna do the tops of the fingers like this, quickly mask them in, and then, ooh, that is one weird looking hand. Okay, it's very bizarre. Let's try this. This, I really do need to put in the fingernails pretty early because they're so big and prominent here. So let's get that in. And does everybody see, like, you can really see in this photo how three-dimensional the fingernails are. Like, you really do have to treat them like forms. I think a lot of people don't. They just sort of trace them on, and they do not look good when you try to do that. Okay. Like, this fingernail is very clear. This one's really coming down. And then there's that like little pocket that comes in, and then some shading over here. Yeah, I'm just gonna, I can't do this. This thumb is totally screwing with me. Anybody else like really being driven nuts by this thumb? Like, it's so awkward. Like, what is going on there? It's really bizarre. This is not my hand. You guys can't blame this on me, okay? This is somebody else's hand. All right, now we need the rugged tone. Okay, so I need to put in this, like there. Need more flat tones because I'm getting too caught up in some of the little sections, and I really need to show this a little bit better. Okay, I have a feel this is gonna get dark, but you know what? Too bad. I want it to get dark. Yeah, I'm gonna try to use more, like, I'm gonna use a little more pressure, and I'm gonna try to be more deliberate and assertive with the marks. Like, I want the marks to feel harsher and sharper. I want them to have bite, like I said earlier. Okay. And you know, it might get darker than I want it to be, but you know what? I am going to start using my eraser a little bit more because I feel like it's time for me to start doing that. It's too wide. Shoot. Crap. Okay, hang on. It's time to squint, guys. If I squint, it's a stupid thumb. Come on. All right. Ugh. Who else is being driven crazy by this thumb? Please let me know I'm not alone, because it's really annoying me right now. I think it's more like, shoot, now this is a really bad mess. This is really, really bad. See, this is why I should not have started so dark. Now I am like totally paying the price for this. Ugh. Yes, I know, told you so. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this part's hard too, because there are all these like, you know when the wrinkles in the skin, they sort of like cross over each other? Like, they're weird. I noticed especially when I was doing those drawings of the elderly figures that a lot of the skin, it tends to cross more. Like on a younger figure, you don't see wrinkles cross over each other. It almost looks like, I don't know, it's almost like a grid of skin wrinkles. It's really cool. I mean, I think it's really neat looking, but it's hard to draw. Like, that's the difficult thing. Looks great, but it's really, really hard to draw. All right, see here, I do want to get the fingernail in a little bit better. And this fingernail is too big. And this is such a mess, shoot. Okay, keep that there. So I know we saw ball of meat before, and we saw a dark mass. What are people seeing right now? I'm sort of seeing like the top of a turtle shell. I don't know. It's not a hand. I can tell you that. Definitely not. Okay. Let's get in this fingernail, and also this shadow, I think should be pretty important, and I really want to articulate the bottom of this nail so I can try to draw the stupid thumb. Crap. So annoying. This is so, like that, see, every single time I try to make it thinner, and then I'm like, but then I'm out of space. You know, it could be the stupid finger is too far to the right. Maybe I need to move this over. Oh, it's really confusing. You know what, I better just step away. I'm spending way too much time fussing in that area, and you know what? It is not helping me right now. So step away. That's what you gotta do. Step away and work on some of these skin folds because these are really fun to draw. And I do want to get the tone over here looking a little bit more dramatic, like this. Okay. I do want to add, it's hard. I don't really want to do that much with the eraser because this drawing's not really long enough to warrant like real eraser work, but I sort of need it because I was a little too fast to screw with things. You gotta jump around, guys. You see, I was picking here, and now I'm like, oh, crap. I gotta go up here, move around this way, get the pudginess of this area, and pull this over. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I need, shoot, I need the eraser. I don't know, sometimes I feel like I'm being weak for using the erasers. That's stupid. Like, everybody uses erasers. But I don't know, I guess for me, like, to me, the eraser is like the sign that I'm like not building well, or I overdid it and I'm not being sensitive enough, or like whatever. It's really stupid. It's just like a little hang up I have. Okay. This is feeling a little bit better. I don't want to screw with myself. You don't want to jump the gun and, you know, tell yourself that your ball of meat is amazing, because it probably isn't. I think a little more shading up here. I'm losing the fingers. The fingers are a total mess right now. Oh my God. Well, I do have 5 minutes. I feel better about that. See? Maybe I actually can fix this before I run out of time, because I do want to make something that makes me think, okay, yes, I am qualified to teach drawing. Like, yes, that degree did matter on some level. All right. Oh, this is what, okay, you know what we got here? I just found something. This is really smart. Well, it's not smart. It's smart that I'm going to actually do something with it. Does everybody see there's this like little pocket of highlight? You guys see that? Okay. It's right behind this finger because the finger is being backlit. And so that's what you're seeing. Although the lighting is it's way more sophisticated than I have it right now. But at the very least, I'm capturing the backlighting, which I do think is important. And part of me wants to just like shade everything to death because I love that. Oh, I love it. I mean, as much as I'm always like bothering you guys to not render stuff, I have to admit I really like rendering things. It's just, it feels good. It's like candy. It's like, I know it's not that exciting, but it's like candy. It's so good. Okay. Oh, good. I still have, you guys ever look at the time and you're like, oh, good. Still got time. Like, it feels really nice. It's like, oh my God, I'm not in panic mode. It's great. Okay. You know what? I'm sort of losing this. So let's go back in and just really push down there. Because I'm sort of losing this form as well. And then this form too. A little more there. Okay, we really got, okay. I need some tension, guys. Remember tension? Remember we talked about magneto hands? Magneto hands going like this? You know, they always look really silly. Like, I know, like I would imagine if you have magnetic powers, like why does doing this like help? Like shouldn't you just be able to move it with your mind? It's a little bit silly. That's okay. As long as Michael Fassbender makes that like angry but like focused face, I love it. That's all that matters. Do whatever you want with your powers. It doesn't matter. Okay. Oh, you know what else? Also here, I did not put the shadow that's behind this finger, and now it's a little bit easier to see that. It's not great, but it's better for sure. All right, I really want to make this look better. This part down here, like this is so gorgeous. This whole like section of like folds and veins and wrinkles and like, oh my God, it's so awesome. Love this section here. But I don't want to like mess it up. Like I want to do it justice. Oh, and I got to put down some like hardcore marks. Okay, now let's whip it out, you guys. We got 2 minutes. Put down whatever mark it is you have been waiting to put it down now. Oftentimes I'm like, wait till you get to, now is the time, guys. Now is the time Just throw it down. Whatever it is you've been holding back because you are trying to build your piece and get the form across, whip it out now, okay? You have my permission. Get it out now. We're going to transform our balls of meat into something that looks less like a ball of meat, okay? That is our goal as an art community. Do you guys think we can do that? Can we reach for the stars? Just try to make it not look like a ball of meat. That's exactly what we're after here. Okay, a couple more like just little cosmetic strokes to go in there. And actually, I really should work on this fingernail because I sort of abandoned it earlier, and it definitely needs some of this. I feel like I chickened out on these fingers. I feel like stupid fingernails, not easy to draw, not very clear. See, like this, I really feel like I would need to slow down and just do a better job with that. Okay. Let's see, like that. See, I totally messed up the shape though. I feel like I smushed it. Like it's not the shape that I want it to be. I really lost the shape. You know what I did? I jumped the gun. I spent way too much time. Like this should be lower. Like I totally screwed that up. Maybe in like, let me see if I can just try to alter it. Like I don't know that this is really going to help that much, but I do think I made that a little too squished. So maybe if I try something like that, maybe, I don't know. Let's see. I think that was a Band-Aid fix. I think that did not help things. Oh well, oh my god, 36 seconds. All right guys, we have to do this now. Couple more little cosmetic bits of skin. All right guys, I think that is it for that drawing. All right, let's come back, see what you guys are saying in the chat. Whew. I can tell you guys one thing, I definitely got to work out. Like, even though I don't like the drawings very much, I definitely am like, like I felt like I went for a run, right? Like it wasn't a good run. I didn't do anything remarkable, but I went for a run, and that matters for a lot. Okay, sorry, there's the timer. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying. So I'm going to go up and see what people are talking about. Let's see. I love all these emojis. 10,000 crows. You always get those emojis out in like 2 seconds. I don't know how you do that. Brett is saying, is this a human hand? And David says, this is what my hands look like when I do chords on the guitar. Cool. And okay, Tom has a surreal hand. And thank you, Alejandro Sanchez, for your kind comment. And Calm Cuke says, you know when people use their hands to make a shadow puppet of a dog, that's where I'm at right now. Awesome. Seven Angelic is drawing a dead spider. Cool, cool. All right. Although, Screamer, this is poetic, guys. Screamer is saying that their drawing looks like a possessed bedsheet. Awesome, guys. This is great. Although, Latamai says, mine literally looks like a steak. Okay, awesome. But I do like ball of meat, and I do like possessed bedsheet. Those are all very, very good. Let's see. What else are people talking about? Sheesh, so many comments. I'm going to try the best I can to actually get through this. Eli Woods is saying, I love Art Prof so much. It's really helped me during this time. So much love. Thank you, you guys. I mean, the way I see it with this pandemic, okay? Nothing is the way people want it to be right now. And obviously, people are living in rough times. But I was actually telling a lot of the teachers who are trying to shift to remote learning, I was like, look, we just have to try to find the silver lining. We have to. If you guys just think about all the things you can't do as a teacher, you're going to be really, really frustrated. And so I've actually been saying to a lot of the teachers, like, look, when we get back to being in person in the classroom, there's no way that this experience teaching remotely isn't going to enhance your teaching capacity. I mean, I think that there's so much that people are learning right now, which is great. I think it's just the amount of time people are being given, which is none. To learn stuff, that is extremely stressful. So trust me, I feel that. But I think long term, learning all this stuff is going to help you. I really do think that is going to be a really, really big difference, you guys. Okay, let's see what else people are saying. Alicia says, I'm exhausted. Mine is just scary. Yeah, I'm tired too. You got like, you ever feel like, I don't know, like I love the way it feels. Like I'm tired, but it's like a good tired feeling. It's like, it feels great. Like even if I don't like what I drew, it's a wonderful feeling to have that, you guys. So I'm very, very excited about that. Anyway, guys, I hope that you will share what you made on Instagram and that you tag us and you use Art Prof Share, and also that you hang out with us in the post-stream party. In the Art Prof Discord, you want to go into draw-alongs. Everybody get out your phones, take your pictures of your drawings, post them in there, and I will be over there in a few minutes, and I want to see what everybody made. This is really, really fun. And please subscribe to our channel and join the Art Prof family. And thank you so much to our top Patreon supporters who made everything possible today. Thank you to everybody for joining with me, for being part of this journey, drawing together, talking about balls of meat and possessed bed sheets. Wonderful, everybody. I'll see you guys next time.